After his immunity claim was rejected by an appeals court, former President Donald Trump is asking the Supreme Court to weigh in. And Tiger Woods is putting Nike in the past, announcing a new clothing line of his own. The Morning Rundown starts now.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world. This is the Morning Rundown.
Today is Tuesday, February 13th. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kara Rucker. Former President Donald Trump is turning to the Supreme Court as he claims immunity from being prosecuted over acts he allegedly committed while serving in the White House. On Monday, Trump's legal team urged the High Court to pause his criminal trial that accuses Trump of trying to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. Last week, a federal appeals court in Washington ruled that Trump does not have immunity from the charges. The court gave Trump until Monday to take his case to the Supreme Court. Trump's lawyers argue without immunity from criminal prosecution, the presidency as we know it will cease to exist. Trump's team says a pause would give them more time to review the lower court's ruling and either take the case to the full D.C. Circuit or to the Supreme Court itself. It's not known when the justices will make a decision on a pause in the election interference case. The former president has pleaded not guilty to the charges filed by special counsel Jack Smith. And no trial date is set as of yet, with the original date of March 4th being postponed due to the appeals. The United States is continuing to work on a deal that would see a temporary pause in the fighting in Gaza and the release of the remaining hostages taken by Hamas. President Joe Biden spoke of the plan during a joint news conference with King Abdullah of Jordan at the White House on Monday.
The United States is working on a hostage deal between Israel and Hamas, which would bring an immediate and sustained period of calm to Gaza for at least 6 weeks, which we could then take the time to build something more enduring. Over the past month, I've had calls with Prime Minister Netanyahu, as well as the leaders of Egypt and Qatar, to push this forward. The key element of the deals are on the table. There are gaps that remain, but I've encouraged Israeli leaders to keep working to achieve the deal. The United States will do everything possible to make it happen.
CIA Director William Burns is expected to be in Egypt today to further discuss the hostage deal. Both the president and King Abdullah called on Israel to refrain from a planned ground operation in the Gaza town of Rafah, where more than 1 million displaced Palestinians are said to be sheltering. The Jordan leader says an invasion in Rafah would create another humanitarian catastrophe. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said a ground operation will move forward once a plan is in place to move people from the city. One person was killed and 5 others were injured after a shooting at a subway station in New York City on Monday afternoon. Police say shots rang out around 4:30 in the afternoon in the Bronx after an argument between 2 groups of teenagers had escalated. A 34-year-old man was killed. The 5 injured include a 14-year-old girl and 15-year-old boy. At least 4 of the wounded were said to have serious injuries. Police are looking for a suspect and have not ruled out the possibility of multiple shooters. Millions of people in the Northeast are bracing for a winter storm that could see the area's biggest snowfall in 2 years. The National Weather Service saying the nor'easter has the chance to bring heavy snow, gusty winds, and moderate coastal flooding, with 6 to 12 inches of snowfall expected in parts of the region. New York City issuing its first winter storm warning since 2022 and switching public schools to virtual learning as a precaution. In Boston, classes are canceled at all public schools ahead of the storm. The mayors of both cities urging drivers to stay off the roads today. After ending his 27-year relationship with Nike last month, Tiger Woods promised there would be another chapter to his story. And now we know what that is. The 15-time major golf champion unveiled a new lifestyle brand on Monday called Sunday Red in partnership with the company TaylorMade. The name is a nod to the red shirts he wears during the final rounds of tournaments. Woods and TaylorMade are no strangers to each other, as he's been using their club since 2017. Woods will debut the Sunday Red Line at this week's Genesis Invitational in Los Angeles, and then sales are set to launch on May 1st. Finally this morning, the ratings are in, and it's official. Sunday's Super Bowl was the most watched television broadcast of all time. The game averaged more than 123 million viewers across all of CBS's platforms, beating last year's Super Bowl's rating record of 115 million. It's another historic mark for Super Bowl 58, which saw the Kansas City Chiefs defeat the San Francisco 49ers in overtime to become back-to-back champions. Next year's Super Bowl from New Orleans will air on Fox. These are your top stories for this Tuesday. You can now connect with the Morning Rundown in a variety of ways, including subscribing to our podcast and signing up for our newsletter. Just go to san.com/rundown for more details. Unbiased, straight facts, that's Stray Arrow News. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great day.